Hi, I'm Lindsay Labonte, and you're tuning in to Real People Real Estate, where we meet with real people who share real stories in real estate right here in Massachusetts. In my years helping people into homes, I've been so inspired by the thousands of stories that I've heard, and this is my way of giving those stories a platform. Tune in to get inspired and informed to build your roots right here in Western Massachusetts. Today I'm here with my guest, Meg McCormick. How you doing, Meg?
Okay, so far.
Awesome. Well, you got to hear this bio. So, Megan is a Northampton native.
Yep.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I'll trust me, I'll stop you if you're wrong.
With deep roots here in the Pioneer Valley, so born and raised pretty
Correct.
much.
Yep.
And originally you spent years training horses.
I did.
Competing in eventing.
Yep.
Running farms. Awesome. And most recently, as a real estate agent, you work with RE/MAX.
I do, yeah.
And I mean, you've helped hundreds of people. You're known for your great communication, problem solving. The list goes on and on. And furthermore, we know each other through serving at the community, Northampton Chamber board president.
Yes.
And former president of the Lions Club.
Correct.
Did I get it all so far?
Lots of other little things, like every sport my kids played, I sat on that board.
Okay, yes, yes. And your children?
Yep.
2 kids?
2 kids, 24 and 20.
And how many pets? How many animals now?
I'm sort of down in the animals, they age out. So I've got a dog, a cat, my son's fish tank that he left behind when he moved out, and
fun.
3 horses.
Oh, I have to look forward to that, don't I? Fish and
all the things they leave behind when they move.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm really excited to be together today, and I just have to say, we've talked about this, but whenever I have a crazy idea, which is like roughly, pretty often, 3 in the morning, pretty much weekly, we must kind of listen to the same leadership or real estate trainings or whatever, because I always run them by you, and usually you're like, sure, let's just give it a shot.
Yeah.
And probably 8 years ago or something, we decided let's try to do some content filming.
Yeah. Videos were it.
Yep. In my office, sometimes it was a little bit sticky, but
there was a learning curve for us, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And now we're here in a nice studio, so we've really upgraded. So before we get into more of your journey, I'm going to ask just some kind of quick rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Then we'll dive into more, and then we'll close out with some rapid fire questions too. So try to keep it whatever comes to the top of your mind first.
I'll try to filter a little bit of it, but yes, okay.
No filters needed. Well, so first of all, what do you want me to call you today? Any nicknames, preferences?
I'm sure I have lots of nicknames, but Megan. I'm the youngest of 8, so my parents called me everything. I usually was the dog. It's like, hey, you. So
okay.
I'm not picky about
I'll try Megan or Meg instead of hey, you, but noted.
Yeah.
So where do you spend your time mostly right now? What's home for you?
Home for me is actually, I just sold my house in Northampton.
Oh, wow.
When my children, I empty nested, and I had a really big, nice house in Northampton, and it was just too much.
Time.
So I've been looking for my perfect little horse farm. It has not shown itself to me yet, so dear friends of mine have a rental in Bay State.
Perfect.
In Florence, so I'm just there until I find a little horse farm. So I'm still in Northampton.
That's great.
But yeah.
Well, and what a cool perspective. This will be a question for later on. We got to plug this, but going through your own real estate transaction, it's like we help so many people, and then you kind of do it yourself, and sometimes that's
I'm my own worst client.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I would think that. So if your best friend was sitting here right next to you,
okay,
and they had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
I think they would probably say generous. I always give people my time and energy. Silly, I do a lot of really. And game to try anything.
Game to try. Cool. Generous, silly, and game. I love that.
Yeah.
What's something you'd be really proud of professionally recently?
Recently, I think my ability to sit with clients that are really struggling with the sale of their home and being able to help them and show them kindness and walk them through it.
Yeah.
Just giving them the time to listen and sit with them. And help them process where they're going in their life. Yeah.
Everyone has their own story.
Of course.
What about your earliest memory tied to home ownership? When did you realize, people own houses?
In my personal life, my life?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Little Megan running around.
Probably the house I grew up in. I don't know how old I was, maybe 8, 10-ish. Yeah, having like a place to land. It was our family home, and watching my older siblings move out, and like, this was my parents' home. Like, this was home base. This was our safe spot. Yeah.
And you said you're the youngest of 8?
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That must have been
Irish
a
Catholic.
fun household. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to know, you spent, because I rode horses too growing up, and it's a whole world in and of itself.
Yes.
And I think you can learn a lot. So how do you tie in all of your experience in the horse world to real estate? I mean, is there anything you feel like you're kind of relying on from skill sets that you developed?
I do. So like horses to houses, I always joke that
Horses to houses.
And back again,
that's a
right?
t-shirt.
Horses to houses and back again. I sold horses for so long, and I always related when I first got into real estate, it was kind of the same journey, and you just changed a few letters in the word, because as you know, when you buy a horse, you have a home inspection, right? And there's a vetting. When you buy a horse, you have a vetting. When you buy a house, you have a home inspection.
Yeah.
And then you're dealing with the slightly emotional clients on either side of the transaction.
Right.
So I feel like that sort of translated the process of it, and really just listening to what everybody needs and what product meets their needs. Like certain riders don't get along with certain horses, right? And certain people just don't fit in certain houses. Like, it doesn't fit their lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think horseback riding, not to go on a tangent, but it's such an interesting sport because you're exactly right. You're not just dealing with coaching the person.
Right.
You also have a live animal
Creature.
So you're really working through that partnership, and that makes sense that it translates to all the parties in real estate.
In that transaction, you're there, you're a crucial part, right? You're there, but no one cares about how your day is going, right? You have to show up for them.
Right.
Even if you're having a bad day or you just don't feel good or you're in a bad mood, you have to bring your best self forward.
Yeah.
The horses don't really care what kind of, they can sense your mood, but you're there for them. Same with your clients.
Right.
You're there putting yourself aside and being there for them to help them through the process and not being emotional, just being the steady, calm piece of it.
Yeah. So who helped you when you were selling? Or I mean, did you feel like you could pull yourself aside from yourself, right? Like be the realtor and be the seller.
With just selling my own house?
No,
I had to lean on, some of my friends because I had to talk myself through. So a little plug, Nick Grimaldi, who was my closing attorney.
Yeah.
I'd be like, am I being irrational? Am I being the irrational client, or is this really an issue? Like, he was my check-in.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because in a lot of entrepreneurship, coaching, that kind of stuff, they talk about when you own your own business, you're always kind of wearing these different hats. And so that's sort of the extreme of not only were you like wearing all your business hats, but also wearing your kind of client hat too, your homeowner hat.
In hindsight, I think if I had to do it again, I might get myself a listing agent and be the client.
Yeah.
Right? Because even when I had an income apartment above my garage, and I would rent that out, but I wasn't my own rental agent. I had a friend of mine who does a lot of rentals rent it out for me so that I had that buffer. So I think if I ever sold a personal home of my own, I might have a listing agent so I could be the client and let them
do their job. Well, this is completely off of what we were thinking maybe we'd talk about, but no, this is perfect because it's such a topic of discussion. I think now more than ever is the value that agents bring in, and in my other hat of not being this podcast host but being a loan officer, when people do for sale by owner, it is tricky, and I see it as a professional on the other side of the table where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a real estate agent right now. And so you're saying even as a professional agent selling your own place that you feel like there's
because it probably could have provided a buffer. And my attorney had to step in a few times and be that voice of reason for me and to negotiate with the other side. When I maybe couldn't be as detached from the situation with the other agent, where I should have been able, like when I'm representing a separate client, I'm that person.
You're that person.
One step back from the emotional transaction.
Right, definitely.
Because I raised my kids there, right? And you hear them say something negative about your house and your hackles get up. And it's the exact thing that I tell my clients, like, this is why you shouldn't be at appointments, this is why you shouldn't be, because they're going to say something about your property that you might not want to hear.
You need that kind of like objectivity and not feeling that. So speaking of different hats that you wear, you always raise your hand for community things, supporting through the Northampton Chamber, through the Lions Club, through all the other ventures that you've been a part of. Can you draw that connection between leadership experiences that you've had there and how that helps you in real estate?
I think that has taught me is just the showing up. You know, just giving people your time is the most valuable thing you can give someone, right? Is your time, and just to sit and listen to their story. Because in volunteer work, as you know, everybody comes to the service organizations because they need something, they're going through a tough time. They just need our community to surround them and help them. So being able to listen and be an empath and figure out how to best help community members, I feel like that perfectly translates to real estate. Just going back to our last subject of the emotions of it. So being able to sit and listen and be there for my clients instead of just saying, you need to do this, 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 and this. You need to hear their story to best serve them and help them turn the page. Because a lot of times it is a super emotional, they're moving on, parents have passed, and it's a family home. You've got to be able to meet them where they're at.
Kind of decipher that. It's so, the skills that are involved, I'm always in awe when I talk to real estate agents because, you know, you have sales skills, you have communication skills, you're also kind of a therapist sometimes, right? It's like all these different.
85% of the time we're therapists.
Totally. All these different, and then going back to your experience in the horse world where you're teaching, you're working with animals. I'm sure that working with animals, just like buyers and sellers, quote me on that one.
That'll be the tagline.
Yeah, exactly. Here's our animals. So I'm hoping you're gonna have a really crazy story here today. So like, let's get unfiltered. And I want to know, in how many years have you been
13.
13 years. Yeah. I'm guessing hundreds of people probably at this point that you've helped. Or talk to or whatever, lots of conversations at the very least. What's one really memorable experience that you had in a house, like where you walked into a house you were showing and you opened the door and it was just something totally unexpected?
So in that aspect, and I'm sure most agents have gone through it, just when you walk in and you open maybe a bedroom door and there's perhaps an indoor swing set you didn't expect to see.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, how do you explain that? Let's go to the next one.
Kids think, oh, look, an indoor swing set. The parents are like, oh boy, and you think, maybe you could have, from the other side, the other perspective, maybe you could have coached the sellers to put that kind of thing away.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, so you're not explaining to the small ones about it.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. A little awkward. I mean, most clients can roll with it, right? You don't get offended.
Sensing a lot of dad jokes coming in at that moment.
100%. Yeah. So that's always a little awkward. To walk in, or if there's someone sleeping in the bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you're showing a rental, perhaps.
Oh, and they just
the tenant just didn't get up and go.
Interesting.
You have to like excuse yourself back out. And
show a different part. And that's like, okay.
Knock.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. So kind of along that same line, do you have any quirky house or really, really unique property that you ever toured or sold that you want to speak about?
So I've actually got two on the market right now.
Awesome.
One has got an accepted offer, but we call it the Tree House in Westhampton.
Yes.
So it has hidden, every time I go in there, I find something new. It has hidden features to it.
Wow.
So there are 3 Mickey Mouses, like the cutout of the head.
Oh my gosh.
And it took me probably...
In the wood?
In the wood. So 2 of them are just like you can see through it. It's almost like a holder for something. It's in the shape of a Mickey Mouse head. And one is set into the wood. It took me probably 6 months to even see that one. I could not find the third Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And all of the cupboards it's sort of like a playhouse. They're all crooked and offset, like you're in Mickey Mouse's house. Like everything's a little crooked, and hidden doors. You think it's a pantry door and you go to open it and it leads you to a bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
It's really, it's fun. It's really, really fun.
Do you know are the sellers now the original builders?
No, they're the third owners.
Okay.
But all of the original paperwork from the gentleman who built it.
Oh, cool.
Is there. It was only built in 2005, which is like yesterday to me.
Yeah. No, that's fairly new.
It's fairly new, right.
Do you know was it intended to?
It was like, I think it was just his quirky lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the center kitchen countertop, it's concrete, but it has inset like leaf patterns and bones and fish bones and stuff.
Cool.
It's very, very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's always something new to find there. Yeah.
And the treehouse, I love that name.
The treehouse. And then I have another one in Southampton that the father built from the ground up.
Yeah.
And it's got so many unique features of like the end grain flooring. So it's like the end of a 2x4 and all the flooring is like that.
Oh, wow.
Except for one room. And he's like, do you know what can you guess what this floor is made of? And I'm like, I have no idea. It's like inlaid, it's dark brown. It's like, those are steak knife handles.
No way.
His dad knew a gentleman who worked at like a factory, and they had all these leftover steak knife handles. So he took them and made the floor out of the steak knife handles.
And then just put epoxy or something over it to.
Yeah.
Huh, that's so
funny. It's really cool.
I'm like thinking of things that Sam can do in his woodworking.
It's like there's a water wheel on the stone house out back. I mean, there's just a lot of really cool features. So these two properties.
And this is in Southampton.
One's in Southampton, one's in Westhampton.
And you said one is available and one's already sold?
The one in Southampton is active, and the one in Westhampton has an accepted offer on it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats there, but also bummer because that was the treehouse, right?
The treehouse. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, congrats to you and your new buyers and sellers. So, have you ever helped somebody under a really unique circumstance where it just stood out to you for some memorable reason?
In a fun way, she was one of my first clients back in, I don't remember, 2014-ish probably, and they're moving from out of the area, and we must have looked at 30 plus homes because she didn't know where she was going to go.
Wow.
So I'm like, is this normal? Like, do we look at this many houses? You know, being that new. But we just went, we had so much fun. She would pack snacks, we would make days of it. But the takeaway and the thing I still remember, and I say this to clients who are like, oh, will I ever find my house of my dreams? Is we walked into this one home, I think it was East Longmeadow she ended up in, and she was behind me, and just the gasp that she let out went, oh, this is the one. That was the one. Right? It gave me goosebumps because she was just so excited, just the feeling. She hadn't even walked in the full door yet.
Yeah, she just knew.
Yeah, so that has always stuck with me, and that's what I tell my clients who get frustrated. It's like, that house will find you. It is waiting for you.
Yeah, people ask that, and it is. It's like sort of this feeling, it seems like, that you might get when you walk into
when people
a house.
can buy them via FaceTime, I don't know how they can do that.
I know.
But
Have you had a FaceTime client?
I did during COVID.
Wow. Yeah. And did you do so describe the FaceTime experience.
So I was on I had the listing.
Oh, okay.
So the buyer's agent came through, and they had a client from California who came through, and it was a very big old house.
Came through
the agent came through with her phone, FaceTiming it. And we all said hi, met, like that's how we met. And they moved out there during COVID, and then COVID ended and they wanted to go home. So the house went back on the market.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's I mean that happens too. Yeah, I think it's the remote capability is really cool when buying houses, and it's also it's a totally different experience.
But I personally would need to be in it.
Yeah,
I need to be in it.
Right.
It's a feeling for me.
Yeah, totally. To each their own on how that goes. Definitely. So when you are speaking with sellers and trying to prepare them now in this market, walk me through that conversation a little bit. Like, what's the sense right now, Western Mass real estate? What's going on from the seller side?
From the seller side, I think a lot of sellers are still kind of stuck in the prices of a few years ago, right? The aspirational pricing. I'm seeing some houses come on above asking. So you have to sort of set expectations for them and show them the data of what houses are selling for now, because I feel like it takes sellers a little bit longer to get into what the price is, the price fluctuation, whereas buyers are on it, right? They're watching the market, they're seeing the data, and the sellers are hoping, of course, as always, to get the most for their home. So I think setting those expectations of like, here's what's selling, here's where the price points are. And I always tell my folks, like, there's two different values for a seller. There's what the market is going to give you for your home, and then you're putting an emotional value on the house.
Right.
And unfortunately, the emotional value only means something to you and not to the buyer. So getting them to see past that a little bit of saying, sure, you might have grown up here, you might have all these memories here, but unfortunately that means nothing to the buyer. So setting those expectations early of where their house will land on the market, because houses, as you know, are still selling fairly quickly as long as they're priced right. The ones that sit are the ones that have the aspirational pricing.
Right, totally.
So getting them through that, and then of course the whole decluttering and making it. And pictures are huge right now because the first showing is online. Everybody wants to see the pictures.
And tell me, so I've noticed, actually it was with the Treehouse. You have been working in collaboration, I think, with someone maybe, or maybe it's through Remax now, where you have awesome videos of your homes.
Seven Roads.
Okay,
that's Don Kavanaugh. Shout out to him too. The
beautiful
best
production.
He does amazing stuff, and his fun little videos. I don't know if you watched his whole video when he tripped going up the stairs. And he left it all on, like unedited. He just, he's amazing.
Oh, very cool. Well, it's so important because people are able to then see the house, even if it means tripping up the stairs. They're being able to see the reality of what the house is like.
I think that is hugely important because you know, back in the day you had to go see it or do drive-bys, which people still do, but to be able to walk through it now is that's your first showing.
Right.
So having pictures and videos, doing it with your I don't have mine, but with your phone, doesn't cut it anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Can you think of a time where you felt like you really went above and beyond? I mean, I hear stories all the time from people. You're great at what you do, but could you pick one time where you felt like it was just the mark?
Sure, in a sort of roundabout way, but she was selling, her brother had passed away, and she was selling her brother's home. Super emotional, right? So there's all that emotion going on, and it was a little bit of a difficult sale. The buyers pushed back on a lot of things. We get to closing day, and she was having the lawn maintained. You know, she lived a few towns away. We get to closing day, and the buyer was this young man. He was there with his dad and his agent doing the walkthrough, and the front lawn was probably a couple of weeks overgrown. Would not sign the closing papers.
Because of the lawn?
Because of the lawn.
Oh my gosh.
So the front lawn sort of was at a pretty good angle. It wasn't huge, but it was big enough. And they just stood there. I'm like, okay. They're like, we won't sign the paperwork until we won't go to the closing table until this lawn is mowed.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing you in my mind.
So I've got my little RAV4, and I go home. I'm muttering under my breath. I stuff my lawnmower, just a push mower, in the back of my car, drive over there, and they all stood on the hill like this.
No way.
And watched me, the agent, the dad, and the young man. So these two big guys, here I am pushing the mower up and down the hill to get my poor seller to closing, who was super emotional. Like, she's like, I can't do anymore. Like, I'm just done. Gosh. So it was probably 85 degrees or more, and it was humid, and I'm sweating, and they just stood there with their arms crossed, watching me mow their lawn so that they would close on the house.
Wow.
And that turned her into a client for life. Like,
that's
I
huge.
then sold their house and they moved out of the area. And she will call me with like dirt. She was all about community stuff. She was in the community.
Oh my gosh.
So she'll still call me from
with the scoop.
From states away and be like,
that's so
did you
funny.
hear this is happening? Did you hear that? So
that's so cute. Yeah,
going that extra mile for your clients, and she refers me to a ton of people. And, you know, it just being kind. But that was one that has always stood out to me. Of just, I'll never forget those two big guys standing there watching me push this mower up and down.
So this is where your powerlifting and your equestrian experience and that work ethic. You're like, I have shoveled so many poopy horse stalls.
And just being stubborn, right? Just that, my stubborn nature.
Get it done. Oh my gosh. Well, that's awesome. So as an entrepreneur, many hats, many responsibilities, many roles. How did you decide that real estate and that right here in Western Massachusetts was your thing?
Never thought of it. Never even crossed my mind. I moved back here in 2011 with my two little kids as ankle biter size and didn't know what I was going to do. Had sold
ankle biters. I love. I'm going to use that. That's what mine are currently. Whew, they
were. And didn't know what I was going to do with myself. Having run horse farms all my life, and it's hard to do on your own in the middle of a divorce, and your kids are little, and da-da-da-da. So I started cleaning houses for friends of mine. And I have a sister-in-law who's an agent, and she called me up one day. She's like, I know what you're going to do with your life. And I'm like, okay, what? And she's like, you're going to go get your real estate license. You can do it on your own. You can, do it while the kids are in school, because it was super important to me to be there to take them to school and be there when they get home. As you know, yours are little right now. It's those days don't.
The bookends, I call it. I'm like, I got to be there for the bookends of the day.
Absolutely. And those days are precious because they're gone in a heartbeat. So my sister-in-law, she was like, you're going to be a realtor. That's what you're going to do.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. So here I am.
That's awesome. Well, this has been great. We're going to close out with some rapid fire questions that I've got to read so I remember them. This is kind of just like really whatever pops into your mind. So we've got like 4 or 5 just for fun. And here we go. Coffee or cocktails while house hunting?
Coffee.
I was going to say, if you say cocktails and you're showing people houses, we know the real scoop. But what's one local business that you love to support right now?
Applied Mortgage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
I appreciate that. Okay, let's give someone else a shout out too. Any other local business you want to shout out? I know it's hard when you're involved in so many.
It is local businesses. Miss Flo's Diner.
Awesome.
I meet so many clients there.
Oh.
All the time.
I cannot get over the pancakes. Georgie, if you ever listen to this, my kids, like, they're pizza-sized pancakes.
Absolutely.
So describe your experience in the housing market in just one word, the current market.
Exhilarating.
Exhilarating, okay. What's your favorite room in a house and why? So this is a little bit more than a one-worder.
So I can't just say one. Well, I suppose if the attics and basements are my favorite because that's where you find all the secrets of the house.
Cool. That's such a good answer. That's a true professional answer right there.
Yep.
What's one sentence of advice for somebody entering the housing market right now as a buyer?
As a buyer, patience. You just need to have some patience and be organized.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate you being here. This has been so great. Any last parting words of wisdom, stories, advice?
No, we won't go into that. That'll drag us down too many rabbit holes. But no, thank you so much for doing this and inviting me. This was amazing.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in today to Real People Real Estate, where I chat with real people with real stories in real estate right here in Western Massachusetts. If you've been inspired by the story today and you'd like to come on the show and share yours, or if you know somebody else who would be a great guest, I would love to chat with them too. Click the link in my bio and we can connect. We'll see you soon.